much time has gone away. Now one means we have today. Together we can find a way, one day at a time. It's not magic, but strength of purpose, the power of many with a single focus. There's so much that we can do. Together we'll make it through. We'll make it
So tomorrow I'll be starting my big extreme makeover room edition. We'll really see how this goes. I've never done this. I went to the store yesterday and I bought everything I needed. So I'll start recording tomorrow when I start cleaning and stuff. Here is a video of what the room kind of looked like before I took my stuff downstairs. This is what it looked like. Here is the room. I finally took out the bed. Gonna start cleaning. There's a lot of dust and dirt, so here we go. This is the aftermath of cleaning day 1. Today we are cleaning the walls, the ceiling, the windows, and the doors with some water and Clorox. And it's just gonna take time and scrub every single crevice of every part of the room to really get it nice and clean. I'm using some vinegar to get rid of the rust of all the handles. I need to cover up the holes and the cracks that are on the wall and the ceiling, so this will probably take me all day. Here I am using the drill to get the wood out of the holes so they're nice and empty and I can fill them, and that was my first time using a drill, so props to me. After getting the wood out of all the holes and cleaning the wall, we were ready to start. This took a really long time because there were so many cracks everywhere, but here I am applying the wall cover hole thingy that I bought at the store. I don't know what it's called. This is what the wall is looking like now. I covered up most of the cracks and holes. There were so many, it just took me forever. Today I started by sanding the top of the dresser. I then sanded a little bit of the back and continued to work my way towards the front, sanding the crevices to really get that polish that's on the dresser off. After that, I went ahead and used the wood filler to fill in all the holes, the broken corner, all the holes where the termites had ate the wood, and the back lining that was very porous and the termites were definitely living in there, so I wanted to seal all that up so they wouldn't come back. And it's looking pink, but it should dry white. Here is the handles that I have put in the vinegar. They're looking a lot better. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse them and let them dry. I went ahead and washed them. They are looking a lot better. I'm gonna let them dry so they can be ready for painting. And to finish off today, I started by sanding all of the spackle that I had done yesterday to get it nice and smooth. Although the wall was concrete, so it's very porous, so it's kind of feeling a little bit uneven. I will for sure have to sand again tomorrow. This took a long time because like I said, it's uneven and I'm trying to get it as smooth as I can. So here we are, more sanding. I had to repatch a couple holes, so there was a lot of sanding to do. I'm just trying to get it as smooth as I possibly can. So here I am sanding the back of the dresser and the sides and the top. So here I am sanding the front side. I was trying to really get that corner nice and smooth, since I had to redo that whole corner almost because there was a hole. Also trying to get the sides of where the doors used to be really smooth because there was huge gaps in there. My hands were really swollen at this point. I could like barely close them. Here I am kind of showing them. They still kind of hurt now, which is crazy, but yeah. And here's kind of the end result of me sanding. I'm showing the patches, the corner, kind of really nice and smooth. The other hole, it kind of caved in, so I had to repatch that the day after this because it's just so deep that I guess the wood filler just like caved in. So I had to repatch that as well. Here are what the corners look like and where the holes were. They're kind of really nice and smooth and straight. And then the hole that I had filled in the shelf, just the wood filler just completely fell out. So I decided just to flip it and put the hole at the bottom, so because you wouldn't be able to see it once it's in the dresser. But yeah, big chunks of it really fell out, so there was really no saving that. Here are the chunks that had fallen out of there. So that's what I did, yeah. Here I am setting up the painter's tape to cover up the trim so I wouldn't get the floor or the trim dirty. I'm trying to line it up and get it smooth as possible. I ended up cutting myself and getting blood on the wall, which was great. But yeah, so I just did that all around the whole room and some of the windows and the door, which I'll show in the next clip. So here I'm showing you what I had covered. So I ended up covering most of the switches and the outlets, the trims, the doorknobs, some of the corners and the windows, and yeah. So I went ahead and combined both of these days because I don't have a lot of footage from these days. I just ended up priming most of the walls. It did take me like 2 days just because of how anxious and stressed I was. It was just a rough time, honestly. In the next clip you'll kind of see what it ended up looking like. I was really stressed because, as you can see, you can really see the pink and the patches and the unevenness of everything, and then the furniture was not even close to being done. Here I am kind of having a little breakdown just because my anxiety was really bad. I was just going to include this in just to keep it real because, I mean, this happened and that is why I don't have footage from like 2 or like even 3 days or something, just because I wasn't feeling good and I just didn't want to record anything. So yeah. So here I am finally painting with the white paint. I had bought satin or satinated, whatever it's called, white paint, just because it's easier to clean. I ended up using the whole bucket that I bought. So that was really stressful because there was points that I was like, I'm not gonna have any paint. I ended up watering it down a little bit to make it easier to get it in the cracks, but that kind of led to it being a little bit more transparent. But it is what it is, and I was just painting and trying to get the job done. here I am just celebrating because I was done painting the room. And yeah, just vibing, you know, vibes. This is what the room was looking like later that day after I let it dry for a couple hours. I just wanted to check in and see. You could still kind of see the sheerness at the top where I really didn't get that much paint. And then the furniture had a couple coats of primer, so it was looking a little bit better. The door was still a mess because I hadn't really done much to it apart from prime the parts that were exposed wood, which was harder to paint. But yeah, I didn't have any more paint, so there was really nothing much that I could do about the sheerness of the walls. But it ended up being alright because the day after that I just grabbed a little bit of water and a little bit of the thick paint that was left over and covered up kind of the patchy spots. Really good to film much this day, but here's kind of what the dresser was looking like at the end. It already had like 3 coats of paint. The hardware was ready to go. All that was left to do was kind of the nightstand, the mirror, and the drawers. Didn't really paint that yet, and the door needed a couple more coats. So here we are, last day of painting. I ended up doing another coat on the top of the dresser and the trim around it, but it was already looking really nice and even at the bottom, so we were good there. I also did another coat on the drawers just to get them nice and even. On the drawers of the nightstand and the nightstand as well. I finally painted the mirror. I also did a couple coats on it. And the door had several coats on it as well, just because it was hard to get it to an even white kind of. I didn't really record the process of fixing up the room and putting everything in it, but here is the final result and what my room currently looks like. Here she is, looking all bright and pretty. The dresser came out really nice. There's no cords showing. There's Freddie. Here's my bed. Just fixing a pillow. Here's what my desk is kind of looking like. Here's Freddie's corner with all his stuff and his little cage. The mirror. There I am. Some fairy lights. The lights I installed. And yeah, this is pretty much it. This is what the room is looking like. Freddie's really happy to be back in the room. I put a little wind chime outside just to bring me peace, tranquility, and happiness. So yeah, currently in my room, living our best lives. But this was definitely a process, a learning process, a struggling process, a happy I'm just kidding. It was definitely a process though, so I'm really happy I did it though. I feel a lot better. Just feels more homey and me. And yeah, thank you for watching.